Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
KISW presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
That's right, man. Todd Peach, rock star for BECU. And it's a great credit union where if you live, work, or attend school here in Washington State, man, you can be part of BECU. And Todd, a lot of folks don't really know what a credit union is, but you do banking. It basically is a bank, but it's better than a bank in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a co-op. Do you know what a co-op is, BJ?
Well, I know, like, when I go buy food at a co-op, I know, PCC is a co-op.
I know.
Yeah,
REI is a co-op?
Yeah.
And so what it is, the people who bank there in the case of BECU or shop it, buy your groceries at PCC, they own it. So it's all a full circle. So when you're buying something, it's all, the revenue is going to come back to you one way or the other. So there's no stockholders. That's the big thing.
See, now, Todd, when I used to go in and just start eating stuff at PCC, I thought I was an owner, so I didn't think it was a problem, but it was kind of a problem. But all right, so.
Well, you have other people that own it too.
All right, I guess, yeah. All right, I should have gotten their approval. And so you got like ATMs and all the stuff that banks do, but again, this is owned by the people, so that way, no one's going to try and get rich off of me. We're all taking care of each other.
It's all about you, right? And all the decisions are based upon what's best for you and the membership, not how can we make the most money off of you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again,
big difference in mindset, honestly.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, that is something that, well, I mean, we want from many things in life, and didn't realize that a co-op could do that for us.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, if you live, work, or attend school here in Washington State, boom, BECU is for you. Check out BECU.org. Of course, Todd comes in with his 25 years of experience in the world of finance to basically just give free advice. We did this many, many years ago when the housing market crashed and people were losing a lot of money, and we got together with the good folks at BECU and said, man, I think a lot of folks could just use some common wisdom that if people could call in and get it from, and they sent us Todd, and it's been great.
And that was a mistake.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, Todd, but I'm glad you did. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Any question you have for Todd will do his best to answer it. Let's go to Courtney in Federal Way. Courtney, you are on the Rock.
Good morning.
Good morning, Courtney. You're on with Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Thanks, Todd. So I just bought a house after rebuilding my credit for a couple of years. I just didn't have any and made it happen. So we're in the house now, which we're really excited about, but we've got a lot of extra expenses, and we want to figure out what the best way to set up a budget and stick to it is.
Okay. Well, awesome. Congratulations, Courtney, on home ownership. That's a dream for many of us. So
and a nightmare.
For us.
Yeah, we had asked Justin how a year later after his house is going.
Oh, it's going great. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. The budget thing is that's a sticking point at this point.
Yeah. Well, what I would recommend, Courtney, there's an organization is called the National Foundation for Credit Counselors. These are all nonprofit accredited agencies. You can go to nfcc.org. You can go to BJ's page, and you can find the link to that resource as well. It's something that I talk about a lot. American Financial Solutions is a local one here, but there's several, and you can just call them up. They'll have worksheets for you that you can fill out. The first thing you're going to do is going to start to track your expenses on a monthly basis. So write down on a daily basis, write down everything you spend money on. You have to know where the money's going, so then you can make changes for the future. So go to nfcc.org. They'll help you come up with a budget. They'll analyze kind of what your spending is, and then you can estimate what your costs are. Obviously, now you're home ownership. You're going to have maintenance. You're going to have painting and your repairs and whatnot. They're going to come up.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, Courtney. This is very timely because I was listening to one of the 5 podcasts here on KISW, a little podcast called The Broadcast, starring Vicky B. and my daughter Sarah, and there was a big debate on just what you should or shouldn't spend your money on when you are indeed buying a house. And if I can nutshell this, Vicky, the idea is that Vicky was getting a little grief from people because she wanted to buy herself a tattoo, even though she is going to be buying a house, and people were like, you shouldn't be getting a tattoo if you're going to be getting a house.
What if you get a tattoo of a house?
Yes, I feel like that's different.
Hadn't thought about that. I think that would make everybody happy.
Problem solved.
And, of course, there's a lot of dividing on whether or not Vicky should or shouldn't do that. Am I getting that pretty much right?
I basically had made a little, nest egg, a couple of dollars here and there, change, and made a big tattoo fund for down the line, and I still have a couple months until I would get it. And then I also have my house fund, and I have a bunch of money saved in different places that I can't touch. And so people are giving me grief that I saved money on the side and I'm not using that towards my house.
And this is the tough question because the way Vicky describes it, it's very responsible. Except, of course, if you think of, well, wait a minute, it doesn't matter how much money you put towards anything. If it's really an extravagance that could be actually spent towards, and I don't know how much money the tattoo is going to cost you. That's the other thing. And maybe you want to,
I'll find out.
$15,000.
Yeah. It's a full body tattoo.
Is the tattoo going to be in the 3 digits, like hundreds, or could it be 1,000?
Well,
I have no idea.
No tattoo that's under. No, it's going to be an arm tattoo, so it's going to be in the hundreds.
Okay, so it'll be in the hundreds. And Todd, you get in a new place, and like you said, you never know about the thing. How do you determine if you're, and this is, and not to pick on Vicky, but just in general, a lot of us sometimes we don't know really when we should or shouldn't do stuff where it's really inappropriate now that we have this other expense or this responsibility. Is there any kind of litmus test that you can find out to go, this is an extravagance, I really shouldn't do this? Because you don't need a tattoo. And if you're getting a house, you're going to need to do stuff for that house. How do you know if it's an extravagance? Is there any way to figure that out?
I mean, for me personally, if I have a goal, I'm laser focused on the goal and nothing gets in the way. So if it's wanting to buy a house, then I'm going to be laser focused on getting that house, and nothing's going to come in the way. And if it means not to argue against you,
we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, it's over. But I'm going to say everything's going to that. And when I get that goal and then I have a little bit of money, then let's go get the tattoo. So, but in the interim, I'm going to put everything towards what my goal is. And if that's a house, then it's going to be the house.
And if all goes well, I will be closing May 20th on a house.
Awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Excited.
When are you going to close on that tattoo, though?
Yeah, that's the key.
May 21st.
Nice.
Yeah, don't do it. You know what's interesting, BJ, is sometimes, and we see it all the time, is somebody will go to closing on a house, and they'll drive up in a brand new car.
Oh, boy.
And a lot of lenders will check your credit one more time, a lot of times, before you actually close, right before closing.
Oh.
And many times it's happened they don't get the deal. They don't get the house.
Oh, because they've said, you weren't on
it. Just went down because in their debt and the income. And
so make sure you wear long sleeves if you get that tattoo.
Well, but it's the credit hit, right? Not necessarily the tattoo, but
I know.
But it's like, they'll go buy furniture on credit. Now that I want to furnish my house, I'm going to have it, and just wait till you get the keys. Just please.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
And Facebook Marketplace all the way. Everything used.
They're perfect. I love it.
There is a thing, Todd, I want to thank you because we talk about emergency funds, and I've had an emergency fund for a long time.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I would say for years haven't had to do anything with it. And then the tax codes changed for 2018. I wasn't as diligent as I should have been as far as adjusting my withholdings and seeing. I just said, well, we'll see how it turns out. Todd, I mean, the IRS asked a lot of money from me that I was not expecting.
Yep.
If I didn't have that emergency fund, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have had the money. And that's another thing I think that people don't think of when it comes to having a house. You just never know what happens. And even a couple $100, $300, $400, $500, years, might make a difference that, you're like, gosh, I got this thing on my arm, but now what am I going to do?
Yeah. But on the tax side, you're not alone, BJ. That hit many people. And it might happen again next year because the withholding, they reduced your withholdings, right? So that you had more money in your paycheck, but that didn't happen until like March or April of last year. Yeah. So it could be, if folks, if you did owe this year, then you might want to evaluate that and make sure you're getting enough withheld. But to your point with the house, the water heater goes out, the heater goes out, you have a roof leak. Things are going to come up that you're not aware of, and you have money on the side. Otherwise, you're going to go into debt, and that's not what we.
Well, I think Vicky's probably thinking she can go to the bank of dad. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
I have a feeling she might be one of the. I mean, that's what my kids think.
Be careful. One texter just said, I just sent you guys an article, and it's perfect for the segment you're doing with Todd Peach. Half of Americans have cut back on their retirement savings to help pay for their children's bills, their adult children.
Yeah, that's not good.
Sounds like something that you might be doing there, BJ.
I know, and I'm not going to do that. I mean, I love my kids, but they got to figure this out.
Well, it says parents are putting their kids' car insurance, BJ, cell phone bills, credit card debt, and health care costs ahead of their own needs to grow their retirement funds.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is that in
Todd, talk some sense in the BJ.
That could be the case.
Well, I mean,
if you're set on retirement,
here we are giving Vicky a hard time about a tattoo, and BJ's paying his cell phone bill for Joe and Sarah.
But thank you for whoever sent that, because that's absolutely correct. That you have to put yourself first out of your kids, because who's going to take care of you in retirement?
Joe and Sarah.
You're going to be asking for you're going to be talking to Joe and Sarah. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. It is it's a tough one. Todd, it's a tough one, and I've had it's funny as I get closer and closer to retirement. On the other side, I just saw somebody get just destroyed by a medical situation that really drained their savings because they couldn't get any Medicare or any private any kind of government funding until all their money was gone.
Yes,
and they were like, well, I was saving this money for my kids. And so that's the trouble is like with technology, you can keep people alive even though their quality of life is not good and drain their money. And that's another thing that a person who's getting to my age has got to wonder, like, I want my kids to have the money I worked hard for, whereas you used to be able just to drop dead. You drop dead and you were done. But now they're keeping you alive like a battery. It's like we're in the Matrix. And I'm like, and I've seen guys in the hospital where it's like, that dude isn't even doing anything. Why is he still alive? And well, there's that whole idea.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, Todd. And then you hear about how Social Security and Medicare might be done in 20 years. Todd, it's not pretty.
So I've got to keep those tattoos at bay.
Yeah, keep those tattoos at bay, Vicky. I'm not paying for no tattoo.
If you need a cell phone bill covered, BJ's your guy.
Yeah, I'm your guy. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Also, if you don't get through to us on the phone lines, which actually looks like we are, as Danny's telling me, we're pretty much out of time. But again, you can always email Todd. You can just go to KISW.com, scroll down, you'll see the banner with Todd's smiling face. Click on that and send him an email. Plus, Todd, that page also has a lot of those free resource websites you were talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of great information out there. And who knows, man? 10 years, 20 years. I mean, Vicky, she's got 40 years before she's got to think about retirement. Who knows what the hell's going to be happening?
Yep.
I just hope I'm alive just to laugh at her and go, hey, you want to get that tattoo, did you?
You'll be on that machine we talked about or something?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I will be the battery.
And I'll be the one taking care of him.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't want me to get the tattoo.
Okay too,
I'll be the one taking care of him.
There you go.
How crazy would that be, Vicky, if you're my caregiver because my kids don't care and you're the only one that does?
You have a better shot of Vicky taking care of you than your own kids.
You're right.
Why does Vicky knows how to change a diaper?
Yeah, and if you're not nice to me, I won't add the butt paste.
Okay, I better be nice to her because I do want that butt paste. Here's a question for you. So again, Todd, thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thanks, BJ.
I'm sorry we ended it on butt paste, but it's really a legit thing that I guess is good. Why would a fugitive turn himself in after living on a vacation island for 10 years? Yeah, that seems very odd. I'm going to tell you why at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a 64-year-old guy from Austria, and 10 and a half years ago, this guy broke out of prison. He escaped to a part of the Canary Islands off the coast of West Africa. It's one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and it draws a lot of tourists. So he's been there for 10 and a half years pretty much at the Canary Islands. He's in paradise. He should be in prison, broke out, goes to paradise.
It's like the plot of some of these movies you saw when growing up, you know, when someone gets away with something and then the movie ends with them sitting on the beach or some tropical island, just like, all right, got away with it, I'm good, I got a stack of money, life is good.
That's exactly what the scenario was. And apparently this was a problem for the dude because on Saturday night, he showed up in Austria with 2 suitcases, walked up to a cop and said, I am a fugitive. And the police say he decided he'd rather be back in jail than in on the Canary Islands because he said, quote, it's not as nice as it used to be, and he'd lived there long enough. What? It's not as nice as it used to be.
I don't know what this... I seen a picture on the New York Post. I don't know if this is necessarily exactly where he was, but it looks pretty damn nice to me.
Yeah, they are, again, they're famed for having some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, so I don't know why it wouldn't be nice unless he says 10 years ago, and he's a criminal, so I don't think he should be bothered by criminal activity. I don't know what else you get him.
And you hear those stories, like when you tell someone, I would love to live in Hawaii, they're like, oh, you would like it for a little while with you and you would get sick of it. I kind of want to find out if I would get sick of it.
I'd like to get the island fever.
Right.
I would. Let me get island fever just, because it would take me a while.
So you're telling me that you would rather be in prison than be beachside?
That
sounds stupid.
I don't understand that at all.
Ooh, maybe total conspiracy theory here. Maybe he knows there's some sort of business, some illegal work he can do in the prison and then get out again. So you can get more money.
What kind of television shows are you watching?
Don't ask.
Yeah, Vicky, of course. She's always looking for something. She's always looking for the conspiracy.
In Orange is the New Black, they always have
that's what it is. Good job, Steve. You called it.
They have, they have a way to bring in, contraband and stuff into the prisons, and they make a business out of that. And
this guy's a moron.
Yeah,
but he's
got
on the
away
beach.
with it. He's on the beach.
Yeah,
You're 64. Tough it out, camper.
Yeah. Unless he ran out of money. The only thing I can think is if you have no money. But he didn't say that, though. But, that would have been, I think, an important part of the story, saying he just couldn't support himself anymore. And at 64 years old, get his 3 square meals and a place to stay. Don't have to pay for it.
Now, if I'm part of the Canary Islands Tourism Board, I think we have to have an emergency meeting. This guy thinks prison's better than our place. We need to fix this.
You are absolutely right. It does make me wonder about the Canary Islands. Yeah, he was taken back to prison. He's back in jail now.
What a dumbass.
Yeah. You wanted to escape.
It does show, though, there's one picture. Maybe he was in, that area where it kind of reminds me of, when you see those videos of, India and the bad parts where it's, houses on top of houses on top of houses. So maybe he was there, but he's still walking distance from the beach.
It's tough, man. I know that when I spent some time in Atlantis, in Florida, or no, I should say in Bahamas, I should say. And my buddy also just took a cruise to the Bahamas, and he was telling me he had the same experience. You have to go through all the poor sections of the area, the poverty-stricken area, and there's nothing that puts a bad taste in your mouth as you're going on your vacation. You think this is going to be awesome. We're going to beauty, but you drive through all these areas first, and you're like, wow, these are how these people are living. And paradise that I'm going to is right on the shore. That doesn't seem right.
Still probably better than jail, BJ.
Yeah, you're probably
right. He can still walk a few miles and go to the beach.
I think you might be right about that.
Just drinking a pina colada.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That seems to be the beach drink of choice, if you ask me.
The pina colada. Yeah. I know. I got it.
If you like pina colada.
Instead he's drinking toilet wine.
Yeah. You're right. Toilet wine or a pina colada on the beach. I'd love to talk to this guy and go, what's gone wrong in 10 and a half years that it's not the place it used to be, that toilet wine and prison bars are better than the sand and a pina colada?
Maybe all of his prison buddies figured out what he was doing. They escaped as well, and they're all hanging out on the same island as him.
What shows are you watching now?
Well, yeah, Orange is the New Black. And others.
Or maybe he misses his prison buddies and just misses the camaraderie that he once had.
Yeah, maybe he misses being the little spoon.
Someone says maybe he had a bad breakup.
Bad breakup that you want to go back to prison?
Well,
Okay.
We've all had those exes.
I would love to talk to this genius. He's not much older than me. I would really go, dude, it's like in a few years I'm going to be as stupid as this guy.
One person says, Vicky's right. Watch Escape from Dan Mora. The 2 guys escaped jail and they were on the run. It was scary.
Yeah, maybe he's just tired of looking over his shoulder all the time, too.
All right.
And the person says maybe he's sick and he could get free health care in prison.
Oh, now that, something?
I still rather just go out that way.
Yeah, just die on the island?
Would you rather, if you had to pick,
Yeah.
Would you rather spend your life in prison or a long period of time? And he's 64. And he escaped from prison for 10 years.
Yeah, so he was in his 50s when he busted out, yeah.
So you got to think that he's probably going to spend some time behind bars when he finally has turned himself in.
Yeah, he's in. He's already back in jail.
Right. So
yeah.
I don't know how many years he's going to be stuck behind bars, but he's got to be in for a minute.
It's got to be a long. I mean, you bust out of prison, be gone that long. I think it's got to tack on at least a decade, don't you?
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, Vicky, what do you know from the television shows you watch?
How much time do you get tacked on when you bust out of prison, Vic?
You get quite a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Because they got in trouble for the 2 seasons ago for some stuff.
Fair enough.
Hey, here's some good news, I think. I'm a little wary about this.
Okay.
Amazon has announced, they announced this back in January, but it's just launched. It's Amazon Key, where drivers can open your garage door and leave packages inside so they don't get stolen.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no.
Leave it on my front porch.
Yeah, my buddy just had this happen. It was a kind of a cool thing. I mean, of course, you have to have a special garage door opener that works with their remote. Oh, I like that, though. It's just their remote, so they don't actually have my key.
Right. But they still have access to get inside of your garage.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, because it's one thing if they're Amazon employees, but sometimes they're just regular dudes that drop stuff off.
Even if they're Amazon employees, I'm not trusting somebody just because they work at Amazon. I mean, I'm hoping that they're going to be on the up and up, but look at this rideshare situation that we're going through right now. You would like to think that these people aren't going to be the worst of the worst, but some of them are. I am not giving somebody access to go inside my garage and put something there.
Amazon's got to then, if anything gets broken or something, doesn't Amazon got to pay? I mean, they're pretty much saying, we're letting our people in there. Our people wrecked your place. I mean, they got to pay. Shouldn't that be the easiest compensation ever?
They got to have like video cameras and things along those lines to kind of cover their ass, because you know somebody's going to try and pull that. You destroyed.
Absolutely.
You ruined part of my car, even if they didn't.
They do. Yeah. You ever see you get the picture? They do take pictures of your front door and send it to you saying, hey, your package is here.
I have seen that. That's pretty smart.
So I got to be thinking that there's just no way Amazon employees are going to be that stupid.
Didn't they just try to, really? I mean, a couple of years ago and try to do this with just like opening your front door and leaving it inside? And I didn't see that going anywhere either.
Yeah, I'm hard passing on this one.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like some kind of an apparatus in my front porch that's like almost like it looks like a outdoor couch, but you lift up the cushions and it's a box that they unlock and they can put the boxes in there.
Ooh,
that'd be cool.
I need to invent that.
Dude,
you do.
The hidden box.
The hidden box. But I'm thinking that if Amazon makes a product like basically a package safe.
Well, they do the Amazon lockers. They're just not in front of your house.
I say I want it in front of my house. Yeah, the law. You're right, Danny. The law, and actually we have a locker in our building. It would be easy enough, but I do like it in my house. My buddy, I picked him up to go to our men's weekend, and he was not in. He was like, dude, I was about to cancel this thing because he had he's like me. He's a crazy gamer guy. He ordered a very, very expensive Kickstarter game, and it was delivered. And he was like, everybody was getting theirs, and his was delivered, but it wasn't anywhere near his house. He was like, it's gone. And he saw the video. He saw it being dropped off. On the video, he saw a car pull up back into his driveway.
The porch pirates.
So he was so bummed. And then I said, well, if you're so bummed, then why are you on this trip with me? I can't believe you're crazy. He goes, dude, you'll never guess what happened. He goes, I walked out. I was just mad. I was calling my wife, telling her everything we're going to do. And he says, and I needed to get something off the back porch. He walked out the back porch. There was the box. So it wasn't a porch pirate. It was a neighbor who saw it on his thing and moved it to the back of his yard so it wouldn't get stolen. Huh. I thought, how cool is that somebody noticed it and said, hey, I'm going to move this back for the guy.
Why would the neighbor say something?
That was the weird part. He got no note or anything.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to be like a mysterious superhero.
Yeah, that could be it. Anonymous man.
The Box Protector.
Yeah.
Interesting name.
But
Thursdays on Netflix.
The Box Protector. So you guys aren't doing Amazon Key, huh?
Not a million years. No, there's not a chance in hell.
I thought I was the only paranoid one, but it's nice to know you're all with me on this one.
I don't want someone being able to go inside of my garage.
What do you got in there? Anything special?
Like goalie pads and drums. Nothing really worth anything to anyone that plays hockey, unless you play hockey or music.
Yeah.
And a car.
I mean, usually, what are you going to get? Christmas lights? I mean, what does the garage have that people want?
My shoe collection.
Oh, your shoe collection. Is that where you got to keep your shoes in the garage?
Yeah, because I take my shoes off in the garage.
You don't keep them in the...
He parks in the garage.
I park in the garage.
From there.
You guys, I have shoes in my closet.
No. Why would I put my shoes in my closet?
You're talking to a guy who doesn't have shoes in his house, though.
Yeah, I don't wear shoes in my house.
And he has shoes.
Yeah, but you still...
Why would I need it in my closet?
You could well, because that's everybody, I thought, puts shoes in their closet.
Well,
and then
clearly not everybody, because I'm somebody.
Okay,
I have a cubby.
Mostly everybody. I mean, that's part of closet design is like shoes for
No.
Have you seen how many shirts Steve has? He needs the entire closet for shirts.
My entire closet is my wife's. Let's not play all of my shirts are folded in a drawer.
It's not like my house. I'm the one that has my closet. Even when Kathy lived with me, I had the closet.
Why would I need my shoes in a closet? Why bring them inside if I'm just going to take them off in the garage?
The only good explanation, I think, would be for a girl to see if it matched her outfit. But it doesn't make sense.
I wear black jeans and a black shirt every day. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to go.
Does everybody else leave their shoes in the garage?
No, but I have a cubby right next to the front door where we put all of our shoes, so it doesn't go anywhere near the closet.
And those are all your shoes that you have?
Yeah, except for the slippers.
Wow.
I don't have a garage. I just have a one-bedroom apartment.
And I live with my parents.
In that one-bedroom apartment, Danny sits.
Yep. We have a little shoe rack in the garage.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's pretty crazy, man.
I've got a lot of shoes. I think that's my problem, so I can't. I mean, I got them all upstairs.
Well, imagine giving somebody access to a place where all of your cool shoes are.
Hadn't thought about that, Steve.
Now you understand my
Everyone's going to want them.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yesterday, Steve and his cool shoes got this one wrong.
The song A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes was originally featured on what Disney film?
Natural Born Killers.
No.
Yes. Aladdin?
No.
Usual Suspects.
No.
I just
would be a good barbershop quartet.
Oh, thanks, man.
Or something like that.
I mean,
yeah.
Probably below good.
Yeah, probably.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Below average, probably, yeah. Not horrible, though. The correct answer, by the way, was Cinderella. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases, and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travelle Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.